Go into that first period break, Kevin's leading, surprise, surprise, with like 6 pounds. I'm not mentally out of it whatsoever at this point. I know one stop, catch a couple fish, I'm in the top 4.
Smoking them big time, huh? Put 5 together, they weigh about 9 pounds.
I'd caught a few fish on a jerkbait, and the wind was blowing really good, and I felt good about it, but I wanted to have a few crankbaits ready in that, so I spent my whole period kind of rigging for options for it.
You know, if you don't have anything going, you might as well, you know, not keep beating your head against the wall. Try a few different things, different colors, and see if that makes a difference. So, as grouped together as we were, I knew it was anybody's ball game, and I just felt, you know, if I hit the right little stretch, I could make things happen in a hurry, and I knew I was fishing techniques that dictated themselves towards getting big bites. So I wasn't going to change my game plan a whole lot. I was just going to change water.
Beginning of period number 2, and you know, it's nice to be up in the top at least right now. With me being in the positioning I was in, I was a little bit hesitant to just take off and run straight to the dam. I was really concerned that, you know, with everybody having as tough a time as they did, that I was going to be that guy that got followed. So as I'm running down the lake, I'm just kind of running the shoreline as close as I feel comfortable. I'm watching my electronics, and I happen to notice where a creek channel swung up real close to one specific creek mouth, and there was a section of riprap that looked like it was going to have fairly deep water on it. So I altered my plan. I shut down shore, stopped, picked up the Spro Shallow Fat Papa 55, the new square bill, and like my second cast, I catch a keeper. Here, yes! It's like, okay, this is a momentum builder. So as I fish around the riprap, I come into this pocket, and there's like 5 docks in this pocket, and I notice one specific dock is all wood. And I said, if I'm gonna catch a bass in here, it's gonna be off that dock. Oh yeah. Take that little spotted bass for sure. I pull up on a little riprap point. I catch another spot that's a keeper on that Spro crankbait. Pretty early in the second period, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing this. And I ran point after point after point. There we go. Thank you, Lord, thank you.
I mean, there's no question this is a way to catch him out here. So the punching technique is my favorite way to catch a bass, is because, you know, you're taking big rod, heavy braided fishing line, and just trying to get into the deepest, darkest, thickest cover you can get into.
Yeah, baby! Ho, 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 ho! That's why I flip high drill right there, boys.
I basically used a small creature bait. First off, the reason why I chose a smaller bait over a larger profile, or possibly a big bulky bait with a punch skirt that a lot of guys do whenever they're punching, I'm just trying to get bites out here.
Would that put me in the lead or no?
Yes, unless Kevin's caught something.
Because he only had 6 something, right?
That's correct.
Second of all, anytime I'm fishing matted vegetation, I like to go to a darker bait. This is a black and blue creature bait. The darker it is, the better. And I was looking for the heaviest, thickest canopies that hydrilla would grow up to.
That's a big one, boys. Get up in here. Get up in here! Woo!
I understand that flipping matted vegetation is something that it's a 5 or 6 bite a day deal. You know, it's something that you go out and you flip all day for 6 bites, hope you catch 5 of them, but I never imagined that we would be in a major league fishing event where you could actually beat the guys catching 1-pounders, 12-ouncers, pound-and-a-halfers.
Holy, that's awesome.
You know, basically when we got back for break, I mean, everybody was completely solemn. I mean, there was very little chatter. I mean, usually when we're at these deals, I mean, there's guys talking it up and there's guys ribbing each other, and it's like, today there just wasn't any of that going on because I think everybody knew we're all in a grind.
I'm basically in the same boat I was when we pulled up here at the ramp this morning. I have nothing on a score tracker. I have no idea how to catch a bass.
If there's a chance, then I'm pretty upbeat. But when there's no chance, I am completely out of it. Like, I'm the guy that you just really don't want to be around. I just want to be left alone. I don't want to be talked to. I don't want anything to be said.
Well, we gotta maintain, you know, there's not much wind going, and it's really tight. Nobody's out of this thing, even not Defoe. You know, so period 3, I started right at the mouth of the creek again on this big grass line. There was a ton of bass there, busting, little ones, a lot of small fish.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
I finally caught a keeper that put me back up there, I think in second place at the time.
Oh God. Big one, like a 5-pounder right here. Gosh, dog. That was a giant.
Throw my jerkbait out there, and behind it, I see a giant bass. I mean, like a 5 or 6 pounder, and he just nipped it and didn't eat it. And I mean, that fish right there just deflated me, because it's like, you catch a 5-pounder on a day that's as tough as today. I mean, that's everything.
Despite the miss, Van Dam's consistency was more than enough to propel him through to the sudden death round, along with first place qualifier Fletcher Shryock. The last 2 spots were still up for grabs.
We just need to figure it out for one bite. Sad when you can't get bit on a wacky worm.
So I said, you know what? Let's go fish some stuff that I hadn't fished before. And I pull up to this dock, pick up the wacky rig, and I throw it underneath there, and I'm working it. And as I'm reeling the wacky rig back, I get bit.
Keeper.
So all of a sudden, now I'm back to being close again. And as a matter of fact, I think I was in it.
Halfway through the 3rd period, I found what I was looking for, and I went to the 2nd bridge. When I got up by the 2nd bridge, same deal, there was bait down in the water, and I got that Alabama rig, had small grubs on that Alabama rig, and there was a lot of bait in the area, and the fish were more active in that area. Then I catch a 2 1/4 pound largemouth. I really felt like it was on. I moved all the way to 3rd. I just lifted him in. The place was alive, the fish were biting, and I just felt like for sure I'd be good. I even thought I might win at that point.
And I'm just like, all right, now you're in 6th place. Boyd's ahead of you by like 3 pounds. And I'm just like, gosh. And all of a sudden I start catching a couple. And I catch like another one on the wacky rig. And then all of a sudden, I'm a pound behind Boyd. And I'm just like, all right, pound 2. Need 1 fish. And literally there's this tree laying down in the water, and I throw over there, and this spot eats it, but he's in the tree. But I'm not like stressing about it, because I just took my time, let the fish pull, eased up in there, reached down, grabbed him, put him in the boat, weighed him. It was a pound 2. It went to a pound 3. It went to a pound 2. It went to a pound 3.
1 pound, 2 ounces. Can we get almost take him off, put it back on? Can I do that? One more? Reweigh?
Yeah. He called it a pound 2, so I asked him for a reweigh, and he goes pound 2, then he's pound 3, pound 2, pound 3, and he called it a pound 2, and I was kind of mad at him. I tried to bribe my boat official. Yes, I did. Offered him dinner.
1 pound, 2 ounces. That's 2 3/4, so that goes to the 3rd.
No. Round up, right?
Not in Major League Fishing.
Supposed to go up. Hey, extra ounce. It said 2 3/4 on it. That to me is 3.
Boyd Duckett, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Ish Monroe, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Tiebreaker. Biggest fish. He's got me.
I read the rules, but the first rule that came to my mind on tiebreakers was big fish.
Score tracker update. Ish Monroe just caught a 1 pound, 2 ounce. He now has 8 pound, 2 ounces. You have 8 pound, 2 ounces, but he's in the lead because he's got 6 fish. You only got 5.
Several years ago, the tiebreaker was biggest fish. But because every fish counts in Major League Fishing, and that is such a big part of our theme, we decided that we would reverse that and make it that the first tiebreaker was every fish.
My boat official looks it up and he goes, no, it's most fish. And I'm like, well, how many do I have? He goes, 6. I'm like, how many Boyd have? He goes, 5. I'm like, God, Boyd is the tiebreaker. But there's 30 minutes left to go and I'm just fishing my heart out because that's what you're supposed to do. Never give up. Mike Iaconelli, never give up.
With only minutes remaining, Ish Monroe held the tiebreaker over Boyd Duckett for 4th place. But Brett Chapman had one final Hail Mary strategy.
Now I'm kind of scrambling, and I thought, well, maybe one of these docks will produce a fish, and now it's down with 10 minutes left, and I pitched up next to that dock and just got that bite that you hope for and set the hook.
Get in the boat.
Yeah, we have a change on the score tracker.
And with 3 minutes to go, and I'm sitting here just like, anybody but Brent or Boyd.
Brent Chapman just caught a fish, went to 8 pounds, 11 ounces.
Brent Chapman, he's got 9 ounces on you and Boyd.
Mine's out, end of round.
Well, that sucks. I mean, I came up on the short end of the stick, but that's what drives you to continue to fish these Major League Fishing events because that's the thrill of this game.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, anytime you advance on in Major League Fishing and beat this group of guys is a huge accomplishment. And I love the sudden death rounds, so I'm anxious to get out there and hopefully come out on top there.
Elimination round 2 concluded with Fletcher Shryock, Mike McClelland, Kevin Van Dam, and Brett Chapman advancing to the sudden death round. Tune in next week to change your perspective of Elimination Round 3.